Hello, hello. Today we'll be talking about who gets to pick the title company when closing on a property. And in Texas, it's negotiable. Even though a lot of times in the comments for the other agent, the seller agent stipulates that the owner has a preference. But this tends to be because the seller's agent suggested to the owners. Owners don't tend to have a preference unless very seldom they want to close on the property where they closed before in, but that's usually not common. It is the seller's agent who usually suggested, and it could be, well, it's not because you get kickbacks and it shouldn't be that way. It's because they get to work, they bring business to the people, they work all the time and they feel comfortable with the processes from that company. And so that's why they do that. However, and whoever's going to pay for the owner's policy gets a pick. But the buyer doesn't have to go with that. The buyer could select the title company of their choosing, even if the seller pays the owner policy, because everything is negotiable. And it's a strong suggestion. They say that I read a lot of comments saying the owner would not go with any other title company, but as a good representing buyer's agent, you should always stipulate what your desires of your clients want, and present the point that if the buyer should feel comfortable with the title company, if they feel that there's something suspicious, about the other title company, which it shouldn't be because they're all regulated. But I have preference too because I work with the certain professionals in different companies, and I know how they work. And I pick one of those, and I present that to my sellers. Or it is when I work with a lot of investors, they have their preference too because they have all their paperwork there and they like the way they operate and they like to keep it constant. That makes sense if you do volume. But if it is not transactions that happen all the time, it's a big transaction in your life, then you get to state what you want, and it should be negotiable. It's not mandatory, although sellers agents like to make it look like it is. I hope this has helped. Till next time.